Hello, friends, and welcome, adventurers, to Tome of Knowledge. I'm your host, Moves Like Jagger, and the world is my canvas, and it's all dark and mysterious. But I'm also joined by the witch, Bunny Dreadful, and Virtual Spectre, who's playing our straight
I'm
man
here
today.
too. Yeah. I'm
We're
the
trying
jock
to-
that makes fun of the emo kids.
You're
Yeah.
a target. We're going to sacrifice you to the dark one. We needed
Yes.
a normal.
I'm gonna shove you two in a locker. Look, I got the Abercrombie and Fitch sweatshirt. I'm ready.
Oh
I'm
man,
so happy
BS
right now.
is totally
Oh
the
my
jock now. But
That's so funny.
but hello, welcome
right.
everybody to Tome of Knowledge. You might have guessed it. Today we're going to talk about the 2024 changes to Warlock, and there's already some stuff. Normally I don't research or I watch the videos, but I didn't this time. No, but I did. I read through everything, and there's parts that I'm not very happy with.
I was say because you did research this time. I didn't.
Yes,
I'm
but
ready
you
to
play
be angry. Let's
Warlocks
go.
all the time, so
I play Warlocks. I lock.
yeah, an eye lock.
Yeah.
Let's see. But before we get to that, we got a whole bunch of things to talk about, like YouTube. You can find all our content on YouTube, past, present, and future. Even right now, live. Speaking of present, we're live on YouTube right now, and if you want to continuing supporting of the show, Cantrips, it helps us pay for all the maps, all the music licensing, and all that stuff that Max uses to make the stream super awesome and immersive. You can help us out over on Patreon. Go to Patreon. We have super awesome tiers to help you support the channel, and even an awesome tier where you get to make an NPC and work with our DM Max to fill it in our living world. And then, yeah, we got all this stuff. discord.gg/casters and cantrips. We share food pics, pet pics, and cool video games. But yeah, let's do it. Let's jump in. Boom. I know we covered it a little bit with the small overview before the book came out because we didn't have the book. But hi Nicole. Yeah. Yeah, we got the whole lowdown because previously I was left with a lot of questions rather than answers with the overview, but now we can jump in and talk all about it.
All right.
I'm scared because I only know one thing about the changes that Moves and VS told me right before we started, and I'm just like I'm already upset. So let's go. Let's do this.
All right. I think we named this guy before previously with Max, but chat, feel free to throw in names for this awesome gnome warlock. I like the purple skin.
Bartholomew.
I think it was I called him Grizzlebix. Bottle gnome.
I don't remember what my name for him was.
Vortex Giga Chad.
I'll call him Zanzibar the Magnificent.
I like that.
Ooh.
I like Zanzibar.
Brizzle Bronx Warzel Blast. Dang, that's a good one, DB.
Say that.
You have to channel your inner darkness. Talk about warlocks. Yeah, all right. So yeah, we got the stuffs, everything we already know about. D8 hit points, charisma base, wisdom, charisma saves. But yeah, we'll skip all that. We got a chart. Goes through, so you get a lot more invocations this time around than they did previously. As you can see in the chart, and I think the spell scaling stays the same. Spell slots, I believe, stay the same as well. But yeah, they changed a lot because you get your pact at level 3 now rather than level 1. So there's a ton of Eldritch invocations, so maybe we'll get down to it once we get through all the other stuff. But more importantly,
wait, you mean we get it at 1 instead of 3 now?
Yeah, so you get 1 invocation at level 1.
And you get your pact magic at level 1.
And you get your pact magic at level 1, but you don't get your subclass. You don't get your subclass until level 3.
Okay.
But they also got rid of packs. They're now so you don't get Pact of the Sword, Tome, was it Familiar? They got rid of the Talisman one. But they're all invocations now. So if you want the packs, you get them at level 1 if you choose to spend your one invocation on the packs.
So the trade-off is that we're getting invocations earlier.
Right.
So you can still pick them.
Yes.
So okay, so I see what they're doing. It's just like you can customize better now, right?
Yeah.
Like if one of the packs didn't speak to you, now you don't have to take it, but you could just take it at the beginning.
Yeah, I think maybe like if you're RPing it or storytelling wise, that like maybe a bunch of entities are trying to seduce you with their powers, but then at level 3, you finally pick the one you want. You know what you know?
Look, the packs aren't okay. Let's just read it. I'm confused already.
But yeah, so pack magic throughout through an occult ceremony, you have formed a pact with a mysterious entity to gain magical powers. The entity is a voice in the shadows, its identity unclear, but its boon to you is concrete. You get the ability to cast spells, and then they have all the spells that Warlocks have under the class, which is nice, so you don't have to look at the back of the book and stuff. And you get cantrips, of course. You have spell slots for level 1 through 5. And you get all your pack magics back on a short or long rest. And then you prepare spells. And you can change spells every time you level up, or whenever a Warlock spell is eligible for level.
Is that the same? That's the same.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same.
I'm confused by their wording of prepared spells.
I think they're just calling it prepared spells now. That even though, because Warlock, they can change spells when they level up.
Yeah, but they're always prepared. You don't swap them out, like other than when you level up. Okay. Okay, so most of this is the same-ish. Okay.
Yeah. But then let's jump to level 2. Magical Cunning. This is new or 2024.
So it says you can perform an esoteric rite for 1 minute. At the end of it, you regain expended packed magic spell slots, but no more than a number equal to half your maximum rounded up. Once you use this feature, you not do it again until you finish a long rest. Now, is this because they're no longer they're changing the short rest classes, is my understanding, right? It used to be we had some short rest heroes, and it sounds like they're kind of changing that up across the board, or am I misunderstanding?
Well, Warlock is still the short rest hero.
It's a little different. You don't just get everything back. You get...
Yeah, so now, because the Warlock's spell slot scales as you level is the same. But now, instead of like, because it sucks. Like playing a Warlock now is like, hey, can we do short rest, guys? Like,
yeah, like all the time.
I mean, mechanically, it's fine. Like, it's only an hour, but like as a player and like as a show, I was like, it just sucks having to like, hey, can we short rest? Can we short rest? Like, it just kind of, for me, it pulls me out of the experience having to short rest all the time to get my spells back. But so this, you can essentially perform a ritual for 1 minute and get half your spells rounded up.
Yeah, I think this is better. This feels like an improvement.
Because normally they got this ability at level 20, which would replenish all slots. So now you get it early. Which is nice because it's rounded up when you round up. Because when you get 3 spell slots, then you get 2 back because it's rounding up instead of just the 1. Yeah, and go for it, VS. You could do, I don't know, you could skip 4, I guess, but yeah.
Okay. So we'll go straight to level 9 then.
Yeah.
Contact Patron. In the past, you usually contacted your patron through intermediaries. Now you can communicate directly. You always have the contact other plane spell prepared. With this feature, you can cast a spell without expending a spell slot to contact your patron, and you automatically succeed on the spell's saving throw. And then once you cast it, with this feature, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest.
This feels like the patrons have made a mistake. They gave out their cell number, their pager number, and I do not know why they did that. That was a mistake. Why would they do that? I just kind of feel for the DMs on this one, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's cool you can directly contact your patron now, but also it kind of removes the flavor of how. I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
On like, I think the DM can call it either way. Like, yeah, you could contact them directly, but they may not always answer. Like, they don't. The patron doesn't feel obligated to talk to you.
I feel like this is if you were playing in a good game with a good DM, this did not need to be fixed. If you're playing in a bad game with a bad DM, this is just going to make it not good regardless. So, like, it's just kind of pointless to me. Like, if you're a warlock that wants to communicate with your patron, you and your DM usually work out a way to do that, and you talk through like what that relationship is like, and you RP it in a way that's fun for you and for the DM. But now it's just kind of like, yep, it just works every time. You can contact them. And to the good DM that was going to do that stuff anyways, it's like, fine, it was better before. But for a bad DM or a less skilled DM, they're just going to be like, oh, hey, how's it going? I'm your patron. Because it's going to feel a little like, oh God, they're contacting me again. I don't know. Like, it just feels like you're forcing the DM to role play a character that isn't even really theirs. I don't know. I'd be more curious how DMs feel about it, but it is good that they're telling the DMs like, hey, you have to play the patron. So it's fine.
I mean, I've played in campaigns where the patron never contacted you at all, and we just played it as it is. And then and then I've played with Max where like the patron is very much involved. So yeah, it's really up to the DM and the player on how they want to play this out. But it's nice that you don't take, was it 66 psychic damage if you fail and become incapacitated? I mean, like, that's pretty nice. It
feels more gamified, but at least it's like friendlier to the player. Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, I think this is really up to the DM and the player if they want to play this out directly, like having, like, hey, what you thinking? What you doing, patron? I like TV. So you call them every day, just annoy the shit out of them.
Just wanted to see how you're doing. How do you like all the magic I've been using? You want to give me some more? Okay. Oh my gosh.
So Warlock is a charisma-based caster, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Which means you can, if you wanted to, dump your intelligence stat, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Can you imagine the conversations between a really dumb PC and their patron who gets annoyed because of how dumb they are?
Oh my gosh.
Like this, like Grog talking to the cursed sword type levels of dumb.
Perfection.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun if you made your character flavored a certain way to be able to contact them all the time.
I've seen wisdom dump on, like, hardcore wisdom dump on warlocks, and it's pretty funny because it's like they know how the magic works, but they're completely oblivious to like where their magic is kind of they're kind of oblivious to like what's actually going on there without wisdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty funny. I saw that same warlock get into a rap battle and save the day. So
you're like, oh my god, Hayden, like, outfit was terrible today. Can I have a spell to make him dress better?
Let's all play warlocks, and we're a coven of Valley girls. Love it.
All right, level 11, Mystic Arcanum. Your patron grants you a magical secret called an Arcanum. Choose one level 6 spell as this Arcanum. You can cast your Arcane spell once without expending a spell slot, and you must finish a long rest before you can use it again. So you get a sweet little free level 6 spell. Pretty cool. Also, it scales in levels. So when you hit level 13, you can store a level 7 spell. 15, you can store a level 8 spell, and 17, you can store a level 9 spell. And you regain all uses on a long rest. So yeah, more spell firepower for Warlocks. I feel
That seems good.
I feel the pain as a Warlock of I only get 2 slots.
Yeah.
I have to be. I can willy-nilly one, but I save my second spell slot in case like shit hits the fan. So I always feel frustrated playing a Warlock when it comes to spell casting.
I played one once in a was that an all Warlocks game? I don't remember. The DM gave me a pearl of, I don't know what it's called, a pearl of power. It stores a spell slot in it, and that was like, it was a little OP, but man, it feels so good just to have that third spell. So I really like this, and I like that because it's going to be the same spell. You're picking it as an Arcanum. You can use it to kind of flavor, like it's kind of going to turn into your bread and butter spell, which will make you feel also like you can pick more interesting spells for the others, right? Because you'll have like your good, always there bread and butter spell, and then you can do something interesting. And yeah, chat, Zeus is saying you've got invocations, but I will point out that always makes it hard to pick the invitations that you really want to pick, because sometimes you want to pick the ones that maybe aren't the most helpful in combat, which is the thing I always do. And then that doesn't really help with like your spell slot economy, right? If you're picking like utility spells, invocations.
Some of the invocations still require use a spell slot, so it doesn't really help you at all.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's not very helpful to pick a spell.
It can help, but
yeah, it can help for situations, but like it still uses a spell slot, and that sucks. But yeah, this helps a ton being level 11, because I think we're level 8, 9.
Yeah, it's just nice when you get to that level to have a little bit more power and freedom. What's next? Are we on Epic Boon?
Yeah. You just want to read the last two, Bun.
Yeah. Epic Boon. You get an Epic Boon, feat, or another feat of your choice, which you qualify. Boon of Fate is recommended. Oh, okay. I don't really know. These are the new boons. This is a new system, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like feats, though. Are they like mega feats? What are they?
Yeah, they're specific feats you get at level 19.
Okay. And then level 20, Eldritch Master. When you use your magical cunning feature, you regain all your expended pack magic spell slots. That's the thing we were talking about earlier. So, okay. Yeah. I mean, it all seems good. It doesn't sound there's a whole lot going on. It's kind of like they were like, the Warlock's pretty good. We're just going to like move some numbies around here and there. That's kind of what it feels like.
Give us the capstone. What's the capstone? Level 20.
The Eldritch Master.
As I said, you get the spell slots back. So you get the ones. That's one from.
Use your magical cunning.
The magical cunning, which you get at level 2, where you round up. It basically, so it's not like a super fun or flavorful or anything really cool like some classes get. It's very much just like you are now fully optimized for combat.
I'll ask this question. Was there anything you were hoping for with the new Warlock? Like, think about how 2014 plays. Was there anything you were hoping they would do that they just kind of...
Yeah, I kind of wanted to lean more into... I love the invocations. And I kind of thought it would be cooler to do something more with those. But they seem kind of the same, and they also threw the packs in there. So now it's like, I don't know. I was kind of hoping for something more with those, because those always felt really like where all the flavor comes from.
I think you do get more invocation if we go to the chart. So
are there more new ones?
So a level, I guess the cool thing is like at level 1, you get 1 invocation where you got 0. And then at level 2, it goes up to 3, where previously you got 2. So
so it's more.
You do get more. But I feel like maybe packs aren't as important anymore. But they still are if you want like that vibe for the Warlock. I think what I was hoping for was like, yeah, maybe more invocations, but also more like let me cast more spells, bro. Like I'm so tired.
See, I'm fine with not casting more spells if I had more thingies. Like if I had more invocations that were like I kind of want like maybe a minor and major invocations or something. Like something to really where I want to pick more of the utility ones or something. Or I want something like I kind of liked the packs being separate. I would have actually preferred if they had just said packs don't change, but we added 2 more packs in. I think those were really fun. I like this system better because it means the player can more tailor the Warlock to what they want. But by just jumping them in with evocations, and evocations are all just like this flat thing, I now feel like I still have to like. I have to pick the more. I just feel like people are just going to pick the best for combat, right? Like, and people are already doing that, and I feel like this is just going to make it worse.
The blade.
Yeah, I mean, blade's always super solid, but like they got rid of some of like the cool flavor stuff, like where you had an extra dimensional pocket for your pack blade, but now that's gone. You don't have that pocket anymore. Like we can,
really?
We can take,
so okay, wait. I want to look at the packs. Now that they are invocations, what are they called?
They're literally called packs of blade, chain, and tome. So if we go to blade, it's basically the same thing. There's nothing's changed. You attack with your charisma modifier instead of strength. You do damage with your charisma modifier instead of strength or dex. You could deal damage necrotic, psychic, or radiant instead of the normal type. But yeah, you no longer can, you don't got that cool little pocket flare where you're like, boom, my weapon appears out of nowhere, right? That's gone now.
You can conjure it in your hand as a bonus action.
You can conjure. Oh, the wording was weird then, because then
they changed the wording.
They removed the pocket dimension part.
I was gonna say, I guess they're leaving it more open, maybe for players to flavor how they call forth their. I don't know.
Because they say it disappears when the bond ends, and
if it's more than 5 feet away from you or a minute. So I guess just the wording wasn't.
It just worded it different.
Yeah, because like this whole 2024 edition of D&D was like their whole thing was making sure wording was correct, but like for this, it'd sound ambiguous to me rather than like like hey, you can still. There's no interdimensional pocket. They just
took flavor out of it.
Yeah.
But it seems the same.
They add some new invocations. I mean, aside from the
it looks like there's less. I think this chat's saying there's less overall, which that also bums me out because if you're taking one and you're taking them more often, eventually you're all going to kind of have the same ones if you're trying to pick the most powerful ones. Did they add more Pact of the Chain familiars in?
There's you can have imp, pseudo dragon, quasit. You could do a skeleton.
What is a slod tadpole?
Sloths are badass. I don't know if a sloth tadpole is badass or not. They're tiny little guys. Sphinx of Wonder, Sprite, or Venomous Snake. I think Venomous Snake is now
skeleton.
Warlock specific.
Hey bro, let's go.
Yeah.
I want to play a Warlock. Yes, do you want to be my skeleton buddy?
Sure.
How funny.
Warlocks have Venomous Snake specifically to them now, so like arcane casters don't get this anymore.
It's a slod tadpole. The art makes it look like a baby beholder, which is horrifying.
Some cool, like I'm not 100% familiar with all the invocations previously, but from just kind of browsing the list of stuff here, there seems to be some cool things in there. Especially if you go
there is
back
cool
to the
stuff. Again, I'm worried that by throwing the packs in here, And by letting you, I don't know, I'm just worried about everybody just taking like the min-max ones. And that's the problem that Warlocks always have. Everybody always goes like,
but
let me beef up my Eldritch Blast, and that's all I'm ever going to do.
You still have, like, if you do Blade, you still have Thirsting Blade, which gives you like extra attack. You still have Devouring Blade, which is like the upgrade of that. So there's still pack upgrades for invocations. It's just, to me, it seems silly to make it an invocation on itself. But like at least this way, if you really wanted to, you could have all three. There's nothing stopping you from picking all three packs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think there'd be anybody that would just go for all three or none? Like,
it's possible.
Honestly, I do like, because if you have a character in mind, maybe those packs don't fit, so you could just do none. Or maybe you have a character where two of those really fit. I know a lot of people really always want to do familiar. They want a familiar regardless, and usually you'd have to do like a find familiar spell or something, but like this would technically let you get a familiar and whatever other thing you wanted really easily. So
yeah, you get more flavors now. Like a couple of things they changed. Maybe Devil's Sight, they cleared up the wording a little bit. I think where is it? Gift of the Depths, you can now cast water breathing once without expending a spell slot. Before you couldn't do that. You just got like the swimming and the water breathing at your speed. What else? There's, I think, one with shadows they changed completely. So, well, I mean, it's still similar, but if you were in dim or darkness, and previously if you were dim, light, or darkness, you can spend an action to become invisible. But if you moved or did anything else, you would reappear. But now you get the ability to cast invisibility without spending a spell slot, which to me, if you're trying to hide, you casting a spell because it's verbal, like you have to say it out loud. So it kind of defeats the purpose of having to cast a spell of invisibility while you're in dim light or darkness, where before you just perform an action. Like you get the benefits of
meditated. Like, you'd have to go into a scenario with it already been cast, I guess.
Because now there's a duration, where previously, like if you just stood still, you'd be invisible the whole time. So I guess the benefit is you get to move around and stay invisible. But like, just cast invisibility then. Why even bother taking this?
Yeah. Some of these are cool though. Some of these you can take more than once, and they have you get a thing. It's different. Like I don't think this was before. Lessons of the first ones lets you gain an origin feat of your choice, but it's repeatable. So each time you take it, you get a different one. I don't remember that, so I don't think that was there before.
I think they changed. Which was it?
Yeah, I'm looking to see what they changed. I don't have a good enough memory, even though I've played a lot of Warlock.
So they changed Eldritch Spear, where before it would just make your Eldritch Blast have a range of 300 feet. So now they're making you do math. So instead of just giving you 300 feet off the bat, you get the range of your cantrip increases 10 feet. That has a spell or equals to 30 feet times your Warlock level. So like by the time you're level 10, you get that 300 feet range. But like you're still doing math every level, which is confusing to me. I guess it's not confusing. It just makes you work more. It makes you work harder. But
like doing math.
This feat is repeatable for any eligible cantrip, where before it was just Eldritch Blast, but now you can pick it for any cantrip you want.
That's nice. I think I played with the DM. I think this was Zeus did this, where in some games where if you didn't want to use Eldritch Blast, he would let you use the invocations that benefited it, but for a different spell. So I do think that's really smart, because it's just so boring when every Warlock's just running around going Eldritch Blast all the time. Boring.
That's the life of a Warlock. But no, I think this version of Warlock allows you don't have to be Eldritch Blast Warlock anymore. You could do other stuff. So they basically
think
stole
overall the changes seem good because of that alone. To me, like it seems like they're trying to make it more like you can pick what you want more. I don't know yet if that's what's going to happen in practice, but it does seem like that's what they're trying to do. The downside being that it's all a little. It's not. There's nothing really exciting here, but like, I guess that's fine.
Yeah,
as long as it works good.
Let's jump into subclasses. Let's do the Archfey.
I am obsessed with this art, by the way.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Holy cow. Do you
so
see the
good.
hand in the top?
Archfey.
Like,
Yeah.
right.
Let me get it.
Her name is
proper
Cersei.
for Chat. Cersei. Yeah, like she's got these crazy freaking scissors, and she's reaching out, she's pondering her
love
orb.
that. They look like the scissors. Do you remember the animated movie Hercules and the three witches, the Fates, and they have their like crusty scissors and they're cutting people's like life threads? You know, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Oh my god, chat, please, somebody. That's what those scissors look like.
Wait,
I'm here for it. I want
Alfie. You think Eldritch, an Eldritch Blastless Packless Warlock would be fun? Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun exercise to do.
That is cool. Like you can do a lot of cool stuff here. I do like the potential. I'm actually kind of excited. This is the first class we've looked at that I'm actually excited to try the new rules, I think. I'm not saying I like it. I'm wary. But I'm excited to give it a go, right? I want to like play with it and get my hands on it.
All right. Shall we run through?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Archfey.
All right.
You want to kick it off, VS?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. So Archfey patron does stuff the Fey do. Level 3 steps of the Fey. Oh my, there's some spells that you get for being Archfey.
Yeah.
So
seem the same.
Yeah. Because you get at level 3 now, they merge level 1, 2, and 3 together. That all seems the same. But they moved Blink and Plant Growth to 5 instead of 3.
Okay.
But other than that, all the spells are the same.
They're a little different, right? Like you didn't get Misty Step, you got Misty Escape before, which isn't.
That's true.
Technically the same, but it kind of feels like they've done a pass to like make all the rules more consistent with all the classes and stuff to make it like if you've played another class of that spell, you know what Misty Step is. So they're just trying to like. Yeah, I think a lot of the changes are just that, from what I'm seeing. Otherwise, it seems the same. Dark Delirium. That's new.
For level 3 VS. The Steps of the Fae. That looks different.
Steps of the Fae. You can cast Misty Step without expending a spell slot a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier. And you would gain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. In addition, you can have additional effects. Look at that. Refreshing Step. Immediately after you teleport, you or one creature you can see within 10 feet of yourself gains 1d10 temporary hit points. Taunting Step. Creatures within 5 feet of space you left must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or have disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you until the start of your next turn.
Interesting. Taunting Step for a Warlock? I guess if you gave yourself the 10 temporary hit points and taunt, that's pretty cool. Like a tanky Warlock.
I've done that. Or I've at least done a melee combat one. So this is cool. I really like this.
Yes. Kite people, I guess.
Yeah, you're just like blinking around the battlefield and stuff. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
And notice it says creatures, which means you could like move into melee with like 3 enemies and blink out, and now all 3 of those creatures have disadvantage on their attacks on anyone but you.
Yeah, that's true.
So
AoE taunt.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Refreshing Step's nice too.
Yeah, I like that. The temp hit points is good. It feels like you're using false life a lot. every time you do it. And you're obviously going to have at least +3 minimum charisma. So you can do it 3 times per long rest.
Yeah.
All right. Bun, you want to take Misty Step or Misty Escape, rather?
Yeah, Misty Escape. You can cast Misty Step as a reaction in response to taking damage. In addition, the following effects are now among your Steps of the Fae options. Disappearing Step, you have the invisible condition until the start of your next turn or until immediately after you make an attack roll, deal damage, or cast a spell. Dreadful Step, creatures within 5 feet of the space you left or the space you appear in, your choice, must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC or take 2d10 psychic damage. So yeah, these are just more of the same of what VS just read, of just giving you a lot of flexibility in combat, I feel like.
Yeah,
that's really cool. I like that.
Because previously it was just like the Misty Escape, it made you invisible, but now with the Dreadful Step, that's an awesome little bonus. That's also brand new. Pretty sick. Okay. Beguiling Defenses. Your patron teaches you to guard your mind and body. You're immune to the charm condition. In addition, immediately after a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to reduce the damage you take by half, rounded down. And you can force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throws against your spell save DC. On a fail save, the attacker takes psychic damage equal to the damage you take. Once you use this reaction, you can't use it until a long rest, but you can expend a pack magic spell slot, no action required to restore it. That's a lot of reaction uses for the Archfey Pact.
Yeah, like their version of what is it? Cunning Dodge, or it's like the rogue thing, except more limited.
Yeah, pretty cool.
By uses.
I think what did they change? So being immune to charm, they kept that the same. But instead of but whenever another creature attempts to charm you, you can use your action to charm them back. So that's how it used to work. But now it's just you're just immune to charm. But now if someone attacks you, you can deal damage back to them. So I think that's better.
It seems more useful, honestly.
Yeah. In level 14, we have Bewitching Magic. Your patron grants you the ability to weave your magic with teleportation. Immediately after you cast an enchantment or illusion spell using an action and a spell slot, you can cast Misty Step as a part of the same action without expending a spell slot.
Part of the same action.
Yeah.
So you already can cast it without expending a spell slot up to your charisma modifier. So by 14, you'll have a couple uses of it. And then this says you can also just use it forever if you're doing it with other.
So you're basically casting 2 spells in one turn if you do enchantment or illusion, which is much different from Dark Delirium. So yeah, pretty cool.
Is it common to require players to know like the enchantment or illusion spells? Like I always don't pay attention to that, but I guess
it's pretty. I mean, it says next to the spell, so like.
It's not like it's hard. I just haven't seen that too many times. That's cool,
especially with being an Archfey patron, where they're all about enchantments and illusions and trickery. So
it benefits your spell choices if you're like being thematic too.
Yeah, I think they did a good job of really cementing the Archfey sort of flavor of this. Everything they gave you is really like tricksy and just like hee, I'm here, no I'm not.
Yeah, I like it. It's fun.
All right. Pretty solid. Let's move on to the Celestial Patron, which I almost picked for this campaign too.
I was like, which is kind of you, but it's not. It's not.
I almost picked this, but I went with the deep instead.
I thought you said I went with the beef, and I was like, what patron is that?
The beef.
He's almost got like an Incan.
Yeah, he does. Looks pretty awesome.
Reminds me of the dwarves in Rings of Power. It's really cool.
But this art is from Ekaterina Burmack, but looks pretty good.
I think his name is Steve with 3 E's.
Steve with 3 E's.
Yeah.
Mine is Steve with a STHEVE.
Better.
Steve.
I'm gonna go a different route and say he's Cantor Lightweaver.
Ooh, I dig it. Let us know what you
His
guys
friends call
think in
him
chat.
Steve.
Yeah,
But his
Steve
friends
for
call him
short.
Steve.
Steve for short.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, they're basically like the healer warlock. They get, let's see, level 3 spells. They get aid,
This
cure,
looks strong.
guiding bolt, lesser restoration, light, and sacred flame at level 3. So they no longer get flaming sphere. I wonder if they just removed that spell from the game because all the other subclasses that would normally get flaming sphere was removed. But that is about it. They added light, which is it's just a cantrip, right? Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
And then daylight revivify is the same. Guardian of faith and wall of fire is the same. They removed flame strike and added summon celestial. So I guess kind of cool. Maybe I like flame strike, but summon celestial is pretty cool.
Looks like they removed a couple fire things to add in some like more celestial things, which is cool.
So makes sense. You're a light patron instead of a fire patron, I guess. And then you get healing light at level 3. You gain the ability to channel celestial energy to heal wounds. You have a pool of D6s to fuel this healing. The number of dice of pool equals to 1 plus your warlock level. As a bonus action, you can heal yourself or one creature you see within 60 feet of yourself, expending a die from the pool. The maximum number of dice you could expend at once equals to your charisma modifier, minimum 1 per die. Roll the dice you expend and restore hit points equal to the roll's total. You regain all dice spent this way on a long rest. So range heal, pretty cool. I think that's basically the same. No changes there.
I don't know anything about celestial warlocks, so this is all on you. If it's new or not.
Level 6 bomb.
Mm-hmm.
The radiant soul. Your link to your patron allows you to serve as a conduit for radiant energy. You have resistant to radiant damage. Once per turn, when a spell you cast deals radiant or fire damage, you can add your charisma modifier to that spell's damage against one of the spell's targets. Yeah, just more radiant. Holy light. Yep. Let's go.
Basically unchanged. Same thing.
Level 10, Celestial Resilience. You gain temporary hit points whenever you use your magical cunning feature or finish a short or long rest. These temporary hit points equal your warlock's level plus your charisma modifier. Additionally, you choose up to 5 creatures you can see when you gain the points. Those creatures each gain temporary hit points equal to half your warlock level plus your charisma modifier.
Yeah, basically the same thing, except with noting of the new magical cunning feature. So nothing really changed there. And then Searing Vengeance. When you or an ally within 60 feet of you is about to make a death saving throw, you can unleash radiant energy to save the creature. The creature regains hit points equal to half of its hit points maximum and can end the prone condition on itself. Each creature of your choice that is within 30 feet of the creature that takes radiant damage equal to 2d8 plus your charisma modifier, and each has the blinded condition until the end of turn. You can use this once. Once you use it, you can't regain it until you finish a long rest. I think, yeah, that is also basically the same. So they didn't really do a whole lot to Celestial Patrons.
Yeah, it seemed pretty much the same.
I guess, I mean, Celestial Warlocks are pretty solid. It's, you're just the healing Warlock. So, yeah, barely any changes there, minus the taking out some fire spells. All right, let's just move on to the Fiend Patron. which this
The
is
Fiend.
That
pretty
artwork.
sick
Yeah,
art.
that's art's really good.
Good job, Jody.
Yeah. What do we call him?
Zachariah. How do you say that? Zachariah.
This looks like a magic card. It does. I'm gonna stay in the maybe not the Z realm, but the X realm. Zariah. The Scorched.
I'm going with Severin the Scourge.
This is giving me Baldur's Gate 3 vibes for sure.
Dark Path.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks the same. The spells are mostly the same, but
Okay.
yeah. You want me to start with what? Dark One's Blessing?
Yeah,
Yep.
go for it.
When you reduce an enemy to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your charisma modifier plus your warlock level, minimum of 1. You also gain this benefit if someone else reduces an enemy within 10 feet of you to 0 hit points.
Oh,
I think that last
second
part is new. Yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
last part
cool.
is new, which is very nice.
Yeah. Like
I felt like, I always felt like this part, like you have to reduce enemy to 0 point was you're not gonna get that every time. But
it's like, when are you gonna get that? You have to
having your homies
and then
do
you get
it.
mad at people for chaosing you.
Yeah, right. So now that your homies could do it as long as they're 10 feet with you also get the benefits. That's awesome.
Yeah, this has some cool with that second bit. It has some cool like flavor you can make with that. Like something dies near you, you like bring in some of its life force that leaves its body.
Yeah, it's cool.
Just suckling at the energy.
Yep. Do you want to do the spells as well, Bon?
Yeah, the fiend spells. We've got mostly the same. There's some slight differences. Burning Hands, Command, Scorching Ray, and Suggestion at level 3, level 5. Fireball and Stinking Cloud, that's the same. Number 7, Fire Shield, Wall of Fire, that's the same. 9, we've got. Well, the levels are different, so it feels like they're spacing them out more. But at level 9, you get Gaius and Insect Plague. I kind of like the Insect Plague. They're kind of leaning into the like. So when you think of like Constantine, it's like demons from hell also often have a lot of bug stuff, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think because previously you would cap out at level 5 spells, but now you're getting access to level 7 and 9 spells, so that's why they're spreading it out a bit.
Seems good.
And I do like that they're picking out some stuff and adding like Gaius Suggestion to like
Suggestions
get more of
that's
that
a really
fiendish vibe going on instead of just like fire stuff.
Yeah, it's not just fire. It's more like this is hellfire. Like it's different.
I found out you pronounce that as Gesh.
The Gesh? Oh, it's a Gaius.
Gesh?
Mm-hmm. I had to look it up because I wasn't sure.
Oh.
Gesh.
Huh.
Gesh.
Comes from Irish Gaelic.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. 100%.
Today I learned.
Hey. So we're on now, level 6.
Yeah, the Dark One's Own Luck. Sorry with all the pop-ups, chat.
All right. I can take this one. You call on your fiendish patron to alter fate in your favor. When you make the ability check or saving throw, you can use this feature to add 1d10 to your roll. You can do so after seeing the roll, but before any of the roll's effects occur. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of once, but you can use it no more than once per roll. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Is that the same?
It's a little different. It used to be short or long rest, I think.
Yeah, previously it was short or long rest. Now it's just long rest. Let's see. Yeah, saving throw, ability check or saving throw. So before you just had one use of it, and that's why it was short or long rest. And this version, it's equal to your charisma modifier bonus, so you get more uses of it, which is nice. I like that. It's a good change.
Yeah.
Fiendish Resilience. Choose one type, choose one damage type other than force Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you have resistance to that damage type until you choose a different one with this feature.
They just removed those 2 types. That's the difference.
Yeah. They also removed the portion that if your opponents had magical or silver weapons, it ignored the resistance. So now you just doesn't matter what weapon they have.
They're just like
nothing can
things
bypass.
Up, it feels like.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, good change. You don't have to worry about your opponents having magical or silver weapons
nice.
to ignore your
As
resistance.
a player, that's kind of a pain to worry about.
Yeah.
Okay, level 14. Hurl through hell. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack roll, you can try to instantly transport the target through the lower planes. The target must succeed on a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC, or the target disappears and hurtles through a nightmare landscape. The target takes 8d10 psychic damage if it isn't a fiend, and it has the incapacitated condition until the end of your next turn, when it returns to the space it previously occupied for the nearest unoccupied space. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a packed magic spell slot to restore your use of it. Oh, unless you took a packed thing for it. Okay. It seems the same, but with less damage. But the incapacitated thing is new, I think.
Yeah, it previously did 10d10 psychic damage. And then that's it. Yeah, so then the incapacitation part is new, so that's pretty nice. And then, yeah, you can do it again if you just sacrifice a spell slot.
Fun. The next piece of art
looks already
cool.
Freaking amazing from Magali Villeneuve.
This is so good. I want to play all these characters.
Oh my God. It's basically Azric but chick form because there's like a tentacle in the background. There's ships. There's a kraken.
Yeah. I have. This looks like the Ren Fair costume I'm always trying to make too. This is so cool. Her name is definitely like Deirdre.
I was gonna say like Amelia.
I was gonna go with Alexia.
Azrica. It's
Azrica. Theodora. Yeah.
Yes, I think we've all been waiting for Great Old One's the
is it the
not necessarily the popular one, but it's the one that's like the most warlocky, right? You know, like everyone thinks of.
Like yeah, you don't know what your patron is.
Eldritch horror,
yeah, Eldritch Cthulhian. Yeah, let's go in. Awaken Mind. You can form a telepathic connection between your mind and the mind of another. As a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of yourself. You and the chosen creature can communicate telepathically with each other while the two of you are within a number of miles of each other, equal to your charisma modifier. So a minimum of 1 mile. That's pretty long distance. You understand each other. You must mentally use the language the other knows. The telepathic connection lasts for a number of minutes equal to your warlock level. It ends early if you use this feature to connect with a different creature.
I don't understand the phrasing on the language, because the phrasing on this and the previous was just that you understand each other regardless of the language.
So now you need to know both. You have to understand each other.
I guess they want you to take the pact because they have a pact that lets you like know all languages, right? Or understand all languages or something.
Yeah. So they added a distance. You most speak the same language, or at least you must understand the other person's language. They don't necessarily have to speak your language.
Tay makes a point. There's no save, and it doesn't have to be willing. So like you can just get into somebody's mind whether they want you there or not, and just like.
Well, you could definitely do some super whispery, creepy shit.
Yeah, like I'm picturing.
Yeah, it was always like that. It's meant to be that creepy, like I'm in your mind and I'm messing with you. and
spook some guard.
scaring you.
somewhere,
Yeah, you
or-
could totally scare the crap out of somebody with it.
Your outfit looks stupid.
You could use it to like really pass an intimidation roll. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, you could do it to anybody, and yeah, the distance thing is new, and then the duration thing is new.
All right.
All right, moving on
Level
to
3.
spells.
Level 3. Is that
Great.
me?
All right.
Great.
Sure.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, go for it, bud.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Your great old one spells. The patron ensures you always have certain spells ready. You always have the listed spells prepared. So we've got Detect Thoughts, Dissonant Whispers, Phantasmal Force, Tasha's Hideous Laughter. This is
That's all the same.
all the same. Then at level 5, you got Clairvoyance and Hunger of Hadar. That's slightly different. Hunger's new. That's cool. I like that.
They got rid of sending and gave you hunger.
Yeah, I kind of prefer that. That's more thematic. Then we get Confusion, Summon Aberration. Okay, that's new.
Yeah, they removed Dominate Beast and Avard's Black Tentacles.
Seems better. And then at level 9, you've got Modify Memory and Telekinesis, which it was Dominate Person instead of Modify Memory.
That's the spell the big bad used on us in campaign 1.
Oh, really? I don't know how I feel
Memory.
about these spells because some of these are spells I haven't used, but
I mean, they seem pretty aberrant-y, pretty eldritch with like the confusion, summoning aberrations, Hunger of Hadar, which the whispers spell that I use all the time.
Hungry
Hadar. Solid. Hungry Hadar.
Let's see, they've also got a level 3 feature, Psychic Spells. When you cast a Warlock spell that deals damage, you can change its damage type to Psychic. In addition, when you cast a Warlock spell that is an enchantment or illusion, you can do so without a verbal or somatic component. Oh.
So this is new.
Is that new?
To the subclass. Yeah. So when you cast a spell
That's
that deals
really
damage,
cool.
Change it to
I like
Psychic.
subclasses getting these benefits for certain spell types to really encourage you to take like certain things.
I think being able to silently cast enchantment and or illusion spells all the time,
pretty good.
Pretty awesome.
It's really good. Yeah.
To really play into that creepy vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to play one. Let's go. Oops, all warlocks.
Okay. Level 6, Clairvoyant Combatant. When you form a telepathic bond with a creature using your awakened mind, you can force that creature to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against you, and you have advantage on attack rolls against that creature for the duration of the bond. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest, unless you expend a packed magic slot.
Oh,
that's...
When you form a bond using the Awakened Mind feature, you can force him. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. They get disadvantage.
Cool.
Yeah.
And cool. You get advantage.
I feel like we're getting more features, aren't we, for these subclasses, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think they're giving them a new feature. Some of them, not every single subclass, but a new thing at level 3.
That's really cool. They're really leaning into the flavor for the Warlock. I wish they would have done this with some of the other classes. I actually think they're doing a really good job with Warlocks so far.
Ranger.
Right? I'm like,
no, they hate Rangers.
And they go fix Ranger, please. That's all I want.
Yeah, whoever designed
they've always hated Rangers every time. Except for 4th edition, for some reason they made Rangers super awesome in 4th edition, but then they're like, oh wait, we made a mistake, we got to make them shit again.
Somebody
come out
played
around the time
a game.
of Lord of the Rings. I'm just
Whoever's been in charge of Ranger since then, they played a game with a 4th edition Ranger and they got whatever happened, they got mad at that other player. That's who Steve was. They got mad at Steve and they said, never again, you are cursed.
All right, let's move to level 10. Eldritch Hex. Your alien patron grants you a powerful curse. You always have Hex spell prepared. When you cast Hex and choose an ability, that target also has the disadvantage on saving throws of that ability for the duration of the spell. Damn, that is sick. Super sick.
It's not just
not ability. It's now saving throws, not just ability checks.
It's also
saving throws of the chosen ability.
So it's what everyone always thinks and wants Hex to do, because every time people use it, they're like, oh yeah, we'll work on this, and the DM has to be like, no, that's not what it says. Interesting. Yeah. That is an interesting choice.
Oh my god, if you team up with like another spellcaster who blows shit up and uses Dex all the time, curse Dex and their disadvantage saving through, man.
I'm thinking also,
oops, all warlocks, let's go.
I'm thinking like fighters with all their stuff to like push and knock people down, having disadvantage on strength saves, and they get toppled all the time. Like,
that's what you do. You play a warlock that can put down some of these like Hunger Hadar AoE things, and then the fighters just pushing people into your nasty stuff, and they can't, and you're just like, nah, you're Hex. They're pushing you wherever they want to push you. Okay.
Just a blender.
That's man, real good. Lot of good synergy.
One's looking pretty sweet.
Okay.
So I think this is brand new to the subclass as well.
Yeah, I don't remember this, but I don't remember if I did a level 10 goo before.
All right, looks fun. Or whoever wants to take Thought Shield.
Thought Shield. Your thoughts can't be read by telepathy or other means unless you allow it. You also have resistance to psychic damage, and whenever a creature deals psychic damage to you, that creature takes the same amount of damage that you take. I think it's the same.
Basically the same.
Exactly.
Literally exactly the same, not basically.
Yep.
All right.
And level 14, create Thrall. When you cast Summon Aberration, you can modify it so that it doesn't require concentration. If you do so, the spell's duration becomes 1 minute for the casting, and when summoned, the aberration has a number of temporary hit points equal to your Warlock level plus your Charisma modifier. In addition, the first time each turn the aberration hits a creature under the effect of your Hex, the aberration deals extra psychic damage to the target equal to the bonus damage of that spell.
I'm curious why they changed this. It's
big
not
change.
Better. It's just different.
You basically get a free summon that you don't need to concentrate on. Previously,
the previous one, you were taking over another, like
someone's mind.
It'd be like someone you were fighting or somebody else in the scene, right?
So if you knock someone out, you can infect their mind, and that creature then becomes charmed by you until they use a remove curse spell. The charm condition cannot be removed from it, or unless you use this feature again, and then you can talk to them telepathically, as long as you're on the same plane.
I wonder if that was just too OP or something, because I feel like that's more thematic. That's like got your creepy witchy vibes, but I wonder if it just didn't really work well with the game that is D&D, like the combat game.
I think this is probably easier. Where or previous the 2014 version could potentially be more OP, like if you knock out a spellcaster and now they're your best friend and they're casting spells for you when they're
it seems like the previous one was more thematic, had the potential to be stronger, had some really cool story potential, but the new one just makes more sense as far as like we're writing rules for a game for people to play that are easy and you actually get to use the ability, whereas the other one seems like you wouldn't get to use it as much, whereas this one you can just use it whenever, and use it multiple times. Seems good. So yeah, it seems fine. Seems like a smart decision. It's less cool in my opinion, but it seems smart.
Yeah, I think the other one's very situational, and this one you can have 2 summons if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the name of this is the same as previously, right?
Yeah, this is the
So
same.
I think if they would have changed the name of this and made it just a whole different thing, I think
Which is what they should have just
it
done
wouldn't
because it's
invite that
different.
comparison necessarily.
Yeah, they're really not the same.
Because it's not doing the same thing at all.
Because you're not creating anything. It's, I mean, you're summoning it and it goes away later. It's not a
You can call
permanent
it
type thing.
Empower Thrall or Empower Servant or something.
But yeah, just Eldritch Hex alone, just freaking. This is like probably the top.
That's really
Warlock
cool.
subclass everyone's gonna play. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of that's a good subclass.
Yeah, that's Warlock for you.
I'm excited. This is the first class changes that I'm just like across the board like, okay. At first I was like not happy about the packs getting moved, and I'm not happy about less invocations, but I think I can see why they made those changes, and I think it makes sense, and I think it's a better world to be living in. It's just gonna take getting used to. I'm very excited to roll a Warlock. So
yeah, I think getting more invocations early helps alleviate kind of like, now that we talked it through, like, yeah, you don't get packs anymore, like part as a feature, you have to pick it as an invocation, but you're getting more invocations, and you could choose not to have a pact and just pick more cool utility stuff.
It's more customizable for the story you're trying to tell with your character. It lets you do what you want, right? So
yeah. So we didn't have time to go through all the packs or invocations, but yeah, if the book's out now, if you guys want to take a look, check out all the
we didn't do
changes.
yours because isn't yours the deep?
Yeah, they don't have the Fathomless in the 2024, so
it doesn't exist at all.
Just these subclasses that we read.
Yeah. So the way 2024 works, like if they don't have anything subclasses listed in 2024, just use the legacy stuff.
Okay, so that means you can still do. What am I thinking besides deep? There's something else. The undead, undying, and all those.
Yeah. So any subclass the 2024 books don't touch, you can refer back to the legacy 2014 stuff. So technically it's still there, but it just hasn't been updated or revised.
And you can still homebrew your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Packs, which is what I like to do because it's really fun. Just talk with your DM. Communication is key.
But that is gonna wrap up Warlock. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, in the Discord, on our social medias. We love to hear what everyone's thoughts and opinions. And yeah, it's just pretty cool. Warlocks, some
Please
subclasses,
go to the chat and tell me in Discord what Warlock I should play next. Should I play the Fiend, the Archfey, or the Great Old One? Because I want to try them all now. Or which ones should Moobs and VS play so we can do Oops All Warlocks? Let us know who should play which. That's what I want to know. Come hang out with us in Discord.
All right. What's the emo one? I don't know. Who's the most emo?
The emo pact of the Gerard Way is your patron.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd say either Fiend or Old One, depending on what type of emo you are.
Yeah.
I might, if you're gonna do that, I'd probably go for Archfey.
You'd want to play Archfey? They all sound so fun. I want to see someone play Archfey really bad with all the like movement stuff, all the like.
Yeah, I feel like if someone played an Archfey along with the new Barbarian subclass, the like the Tree Builder, the Tree Shaper, because they can teleport people to them. So just like all this like teleportation trickery going on.
Oh my god. I already feel bad for the DM.
So that's gonna wrap it up for us. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us, spending your evenings or mornings or afternoons with us. We greatly appreciate everybody. But yeah, next Friday, this Friday is campaign 2, episode 54. We might have one big job left, or we might not do it. So I guess we'll find out. But
so we might have the vote. We might see what happens. We might have to get out of Dodge real fast is all I'm saying.
We'll see. But that happens Friday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Follow us on all the socials, platforms, all that stuff. You can all find all those links at castersandcantrips.com. And yeah, have a good one, everyone. And thanks for hanging out. See ya.
Bye.